For it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it into the dogs. Those are the words of Jesus Christ to this woman who was a Greek who had come to ask Jesus to heal her daughter who was possessed with the devil. And as I said yesterday on the broadcast, Jesus is setting the stage for something that is to come in just a few years down the road, basically taking down this wall between those who were of the Jews and those who were of the Gentiles, to say, look, salvation is to all mankind who will receive it. And so now this woman, in her response, as I've said, she is tenacious. And she's not going to allow herself to be caught up with other people's opinions or what somebody else thinks or even the law. She says, I'm going to have Jesus minister to my need. And so she simply says this. She says, yet, Lord, under the table, even the dogs eat the crumbs. And she said, look at this. She said, it doesn't matter who I am. Jesus, I know that there is ministry here for me, and I come to seek it. And she had the right element here, and that is simply faith. She is exercising and putting forth faith. And Jesus always responded to faith. And so through her faith, a miracle takes place. Church, we've got to grab hold of this. And in our troubled times, as this woman lived in troubled times and had trouble in her life, there's a lot of trouble in this world. And I don't mean to be negative, because I'm not a negative person, but I'm here to tell you that there's more trouble to come. And church, we've got to have faith arise. There's got to be a strong movement of faith across the world. Now, I wrote a book about faith, and in this book, I have a premise, and it's simply this. Faith is a process. I'm not of the crowd that says, well, you just name it and claim it. No, faith is something that you work at. And faith is something that you build and you grow as you exercise your faith. And so sometimes we've got to cast forth just a little bit of faith. It is interesting to me that people get hung up on the whole thing about the mustard seed, just a grain of mustard seed. Jesus never meant for the grain of mustard seed to be the final deal. The grain of mustard seed was the beginning. He said, something small. Exercise your faith in something small. And when God performs that, then you take that as a landmark, and the next time you say, God, what you did then, you can do again. And it builds your faith as you go. And as you go, you will grow in your faith. And maybe someday they'll say to you that you're a great champion of faith. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.